Pie charts are one common tool for displaying categorical data. In order to create a pie chart, we start with a circle or a pie, and then we start breaking that pie up into different pieces, where each piece of the pie represents a different response or a different observation that we've collected information on. In example 1, these are the results of asking people if they plan to vote for candidate A. The answer to that is either yes or no, so this pie is split into two different pieces, where the size of each piece reflects the percentage of responses. So we have 55% of people responding yes, and so we have a larger piece of the pie representing that 55%, and then the smaller piece of the pie, which was people who responded no, at 45%, takes up a smaller piece of the pie. Colors or shading are often used to help distinguish the different pieces of the pie, and pie charts are often used because they're fairly easy to access. You don't really need to know a lot about math or data to really kind of look at these and understand these. They're relatively simple pictures. In example 2, we have another pie chart. In this case, rather than asking people if they plan to vote for a particular candidate, they're asked a more general question, which is which candidate they will vote for in the upcoming election, or which candidate they prefer. In this case, there are 4 different options, candidate A, B, C, or D. So, since we have 4 responses, now the pie is broken up into 4 different pieces, still with each piece of the pie representing the percentage of the whole, so showing us a visual representation of how big that group of people is who responded with that answer. This also starts getting us into an example of how pie charts are not always the best way to represent categorical data. This pie chart's still pretty easy to read, but if we had a question with more answers, we would have to start breaking this pie up into even more pieces, and after a while that pie chart can get harder and harder to read. And if we don't have good labeling, like this one does, it can be hard to distinguish one pie piece relative to another, which one is larger or smaller. So pie charts are good, they're very accessible, but if we start getting into lots of different responses, they can get messier, kind of harder to read, and we don't do as good a job of displaying those results as effectively.